What's up, guys? So I'm doing a little trading recap on how I was able to make about $20,000 within the first hour of the market being open. For me, the market opened up at 8:30, and right now it's currently 9:44. But we actually already been out this trade for a minute, so it was really like about $22,000 within 50 minutes or so with three different trades. Now I'm not that type of trader that do those 10% trims or those 10% gains, and then I have a big account, so 10% to you might be $10, but to me it's like 10,000. I'm not that type of trader. Most of my trades that I take that are winners normally go 100% plus. So that's pretty much how I was able to capitalize, like money wise. When we're thinking money wise, let's not think of a dollar sign, let's think of a percentage. So we took three trades today, really four if you count SPY, but really three trades for me, which was coin. And then we took XPX calls, and then we took XPX puts. Our coin calls went 130%, if I believe. The XPX calls went 135%, and then the XPX puts went 72%. And then if you held runners or whatever, I stress leaving runners if you can afford it. If you have runners right now, XPX is well over 100% as well. So let's get to it. So normally, what I normally like to do is, I like to use a 15-minute. That's kind of my to-go-to time frame, right? I go to the 15-minute. Only reason why is because the 5-minute has a lot of noise and a lot of fake outs, especially right now with the VIX being as high. The VIX is around 30, hovering around at 28, $30. So with the VIX being that high, it's more likely to be shooken out and a lot of more fake outs. So coming to these bigger time frame, it allows us to not get shooken out as easily. And also we catch a bigger move, right? When you trade on the 5-minute, you're going to catch a smaller move than a bigger time frame. The bigger the time frame is, the bigger the move. So right off before we open, I noticed right now that coin was in this falling wedge right on a 15-minute. So I know that I wanted to take coin. I wanted to see it break, right? If we break, I could take calls and then they go to my level. Now, as you can see, these levels are previous support and resistance levels. We have support right here, resistance right here, and we have support right here, then resistance right there. So right at open, coin pretty much was getting ready to send, right? Right here, we can zoom in. Right at open, coin opened up right here, and we pretty much started to send. I wanted to take coin over this 122 level, and I came to the 10-minute, which is a new time frame that I'm adding to my trading strategy. I came to the 10 minutes just to get a little faster entry. I'm using the 15-minute to still like hold my trades, but as far as the 10-minute, it just gives me a little faster entry. I don't like the 5-minute, but as far as entries, the 10-minute has seemed to be kind of like the middle ground for me. And, that's what I took it off of. So we come to the 10-minute, we open up. I'm not gonna lie, I took it a little bit before the break, just because I like to get in before the break to get that IV spike or whatever. So took it in a little bit before the break. We was able to break above here. And then our stop loss was obviously if we break back below our entry point, because the reason why we got in is no longer valid. So pretty much, it broke. My original target was the high of this top right here of this falling wedge. Which was really would be that 125.60, resistance. So pretty much around here, I'm out most of my position. And then anything else, as long as we hold above here, you can hold some runners, but make sure that your stop loss for your runners are at that point at your last target. So then we let it chase up, as it gets to your next targets, you want to start taking profit off the table. So we ended up taking a lot of profit here, and then we took another profit here. And at this point, once this went through all these targets like that, at this point, it's kind of time for you guys to be like, okay, I'm taking profits. So started taking profits when we got this little bit of pullback. I didn't want to have a stop loss all the way down here just because, I didn't really have much left up here. So just pretty much started taking profits and then just called it a day on this trade. So this trade went about 130%. So that was one of the trades. Right. And as you can see right here, my stop loss for this trade was below here. Why? Because if it breaks below this falling wedge, right? If it breaks below here, the reason why I got in is no longer valid. So that's where my stop loss was after my entry. Next, so that's that trade. The next trade we have XPX. So why am I taking XPX? Well, number one, I noticed that, if coin is pushing in a direction, even if SPY or XPX is lagging, most of the time they're going to end up going that way, right? So as I just got out of coin, right, I'm seeing all of this momentum up, we're pushing up or whatever, then I'm looking at XPX and I'm like, okay, well, we're looking like we're about to make a move. So I got my VWAP indicator up here. I am using the VWAP on the 10-minute on some type of trades. It just depends. So right here, you see that we have these wicks here. That means that buyers are there. We have some buying pressure. So I'm looking at these two wicks. We got this opening candle right here. Then we got this candle right here. Right here, we holding a deviation band at the bottom. So at this point, I told you guys to just take the damn trade. We got buying pressure. We had some volume on this first candle right here. The volume ain't too bad, right? So not really a volume trader, but if for my volume traders, the volume wasn't even too bad. Obviously, you take the trade, your stop loss is right here at that 442, that 422.40 support. And just take the trade, guys. We took the trade. We got a little bit. I think we took it right around here. We got a little bit of pullback. It is OTDE, so these were down about 20%. But at the same time, we know that buyers are in this area. So, as long as it's holding this 422.40 support, what else more do you want, right? Just take the trade, and if it happens to lose, it's a loss. So the reason why we took this trade right here, we were really looking for the VWAP to become a magnet. Stocks don't like to go too far away from the VWAP for too long. So if we're buying pressure right here, the goal as a trader is to get the stocks to come back to VWAP, which is this purple line in the middle. So the stock was able to come back to the purple line, and then we want to see it actually break above that VWAP. So once it breaks above that VWAP, it hit our target. We are out of this trade, right? We bought it here, a quick little scalp. It is XPX. So, this little move is actually a big move, right? And it's also the 10-minute chart. You have to realize it's not the 5-minute chart. So this is a bigger move than what you would get on the 5-minute chart. So, we got it here. We got a nice push up. I always tell people when we get nice candles like this, it's time to start taking those profits. Why? Because normally when we get a big candle like this, we have some type of, pullback or retracement candle. So I was actually already getting out this trade here. I had runners to about here, stop loss here, was able to get out this trade around, most of my position was out around like around 80% or whatever. But still was able to sell some runners at that 135% as well. And then we came back down. You should no longer be holding anything once it break back above that. Break back below that level. You guys have to really manage your runners, right? People don't like to manage their runners. They just let them go to zero. That's in some cases, that's fine, I guess, if you got the money to do it. But obviously, if it breaks back below this level, obviously I want to cut the trade. Now, the third trade actually came in where now we're going to take puts if, right, it pulled back. So now we're trying to see, did it have buying pressure again at this level to take another re-entry for a bounce? Or if we break below that, that means obviously the buying pressure is gone. And now that we'll be going to the downside. So literally that's exactly what happened. So right here, as you can see, let me change this color right quick. Right here, this is the buying pressure. As you can see on this candle, we were not able to have that buying pressure anymore at this level. So that's a signal to take puts. We take puts, it breaks below that 422.40 level. And then what do? We ride it down to our next target for about 72%, 96% if you held runners. And that's pretty much like that easy. And all of this was within, literally less than an hour. And that was how I was able to make 20K. So that's pretty much it. Trade safe, use those stop losses, always know where you're going to exit before you get into a trade. Hope you guys learned something from this quick little video, and I'll see you guys.